welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are at the Cloud Expo 2011 in Manhattan. On our program is Barton George. He is the cloud computing evangelist at Dell. And Barton, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me.
So apparently you've succeeded in your position here.
Right. People have heard about it, right? Now they're doing shows about it. So you can tick that one off.
So tell me a little bit about what you do as a cloud computing evangelist. What's your day-to-day role?
Sure. So what I do is I talk with customers, I talk to press, I talk to analysts, do things like we're doing now, and then I go out to shows and I act as an ambassador to the cloud computing community and talk to other people.
And are there certain, if you bring this down to the nuts and bolts of who Dell is, are there certain reasons why Dell is a preferred vendor for cloud-based solutions?
Well, I think if you look at cloud solutions, there's two big buckets and two places that Dell plays. We play in the area of building out cloud solutions for customers and delivering real business value, and on the other side, we offer cloud-based solutions. So you can build them out yourself, and we can help you do them, or you can gain access from services and solutions from the cloud, and we offer both of those. And those are the two ways that Dell helps to drive business value in the cloud.
Now the market's become more competitive in the last 3-4 years with new vendors jumping into the server space, like Cisco, for example. Does that increased competition for cloud-based business make it more difficult for Dell, or is the market expanding for the market for cloud solutions expanding so large that it's a non-issue?
Well, I think the market size is definitely growing. I think we have a slightly different positioning, and we've been in it for a little bit longer. So we started out actually about 4 years ago with our data center solutions group, and the group there is targeted at the biggest of the big. So these are people, names that I can mention would be people like Facebook, like Microsoft Azure, like Lawrence Livermore National Labs. And we've worked with these giant companies to build out custom systems for them so that they can build their clouds on top of them. Because the architecture that they have is very different than the traditional enterprise. And the software layer is what has the resiliency and availability, so you don't need that in the servers. So you take that out of the servers and instead you double down on things like TCO, power, density, efficiency, and those are the factors that really deliver business value in this area. So we've been in this for 4 years. We've then taken, as of last year, this idea of these customs systems, and we've taken it down to the next level, where we've built derivative systems at the PowerEdge C line, which is built off some of these high runner ideas in the scale-out model for the people who are not quite as big as these biggest of the big. And then because these people in the next tier down also want complete solutions on top of the servers, we're partnering with software vendors to provide turnkey offerings that they can have. I think what's different between us and some of our competitors is that these solutions are not welded shut and they're not proprietary. We're doing a lot of work with open source vendors, and the idea here is that our solutions are open, capable, and affordable, so that you can, if you'd like, switch out other pieces in it, and it's not just a proprietary solution that you have to take lock, stock, and barrel.
So if you look at this market in the last couple of years, I'm curious, since you have this experience, are there things that, I guess, misconceptions that people have about the cloud that you've seen often?
Well, I think that probably the misconceptions is, it's not so much misconceptions, but it's this idea of what the heck is cloud computing, and I think that's part of the issue is there's a huge signal-to-noise ratio with the cloud. But that doesn't mean that there's not a very strong signal, and it's this very strong signal and the promise of delivering real business value that has got everybody to start pigpiling on top, whether it's true of vendors who are going out and renaming everything they have as cloud this, cloud that, or people on the IT side who, when asked by their CIO, hey, what are we doing about cloud, say, oh yeah, we've been running that for years down in our data center. So I think that's helped to, the excitement around has also helped to make it a little bit more confusing, and then a lot of people become confused. And so I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to cut through that and talk about the real business benefits that cloud delivers in the way of becoming more efficient and at the same time driving greater responsiveness to the business, which I see as the two biggest values of cloud computing.
So efficiency and responsiveness.
Right.
Okay, and do people or your customers have the ability to measure that in an ROI fashion? How do they do that?
Well, I think one of the things we definitely have when we talk about the biggest of the big that we've been working with the longest, is they measure it in, for example, there's a specific metric, PUE, for data centers. And what that is, it's a ratio of how much energy is going into a data center and how much of that energy then ends up powering the servers. How much are you losing along the way? And the closer you get to a one-to-one ratio, where you get a number of 1, that's goodness. And so we're working with systems that will get them closer and closer to that point of the nirvana of 1.0. And so they can measure it that way. They also have, a lot of these big players have power envelopes they have to stay within. So you can't exceed this certain number of power, wattage per rack. And they need to stay within it. So these people are extremely metric driven, very conscious, and they know down to the watt and down to the penny of what they're saving and what it's costing them.
That's great. Well, thanks for being on the program today.
Rich, my pleasure.